Old soldiers like me are always saying that America is the greatest nation in the world. Well, my friends, I'll go one better than that. America is the greatest nation that ever existed under the sun. We went to Europe. As I was saying, we went to Europe in 1918 in the same spirit that our boys have gone there now, carrying the notion that the values we hold dear were worth our lives and our sacred honor.
Ich schließe mit dem Bekenntnis, das der Führer einst aussprach, als den Kampf die Macht im Reich begann. Damals sagte wenn unser Wille so stark ist.
In the trenches of the Argonne Forest, one of the finest boys who ever lived died in his sergeant's arms. Sarge, he said to me, tell him Angie Medalia died for the Bill of Rights.
Dass keine Not ihn mehr zu zwingen vermag. Dann wird unser Wille und unser deutscher Stahl auch die Not zerbrechen und besiegen.
Tell him Angie Medalia died for the Pilgrim's Dream. Tell him Angie Medalia died for liberty.
Lang lebe Deutschland.
And he looks at this mess sergeant, he says, Sergeant, me and my cadre will be back here in 1 hour. If this place ain't clean by then, you and me is stepping outside that back door. I thought that old boy was going to faint.
Oh, Harmon Cub, that is disgusting. Ought to make you drink it. Use an ashtray or eat at the Bluebell.
Hi, boys. What can I do?
There they are. Will you look at them?
Well, they ain't gonna get fed here.
Zig Heil, boys!
I love Dave. Hi, Doc.
Cut out the kid stuff.
I'll tell you one thing. Them Heinies is good workers. Wasn't for them, all you middle-aged fools would be harvesting wheat.
I don't care. Maybe kid stuff to you, Doc. We're fighting them over there, and I don't like them.
Doc, how many on the last train load? About 100, I heard.
What I hear at the camp stays at the camp.
Oh, that can't be no military secret, for Pete's sake.
Loose lips sink ships. Let me have a cheese sandwich and a glass of iced tea.
Say please.
Not to you.
Oh, Doc, you're quite the lady killer.
Hey, Doc.
Right,
If you ever get the urge to give one of them Nazi SOBs a shot of strychnine.
Now, why would I do that?
Well, I'd nail him, boy. By God, I'd inoculate him right in the old eyeball.
Damn right.
You think I care what you do? Listen, let me tell you, smart fella, something. Most of those Germans I could murder. Not lose a minute's sleep. But some of them... Well, forget I ever opened my mouth. Nobody else would understand.
Understand what?
Never mind. We going fishing or not?
Doggone, George, if you're going to be like that for the rest of the day.
Like what? You bring the beer, I'll bring the worms. See you after supper. Forget the sandwich. It took too long.
La-dee-da.
Boy, he sure took the sunshine out of the day.
Thanks for the conversation, boys. Sure appreciate it. Got to get to the office, meet a client.
Which client's that, Harm? Jim Beam or Jack Daniels?
Older fella lets me call him Granddad. Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm calling, Mrs. Barnes. I'm wondering if you'd mind if I only paid $25 on my grocery bill this month. Would that be all right? Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I sure appreciate that, Mrs. Barnes. Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, I think we can litigate that. Why don't you come on downtown tomorrow? I'll buy you some lunch. Right. Good. Thank you, sir. Hi, John.
Going to offer a man a drink, counselor?
You know where it is.
Some of the ladies ought to talk to Miss Barnes about shaving that mustache of hers. Well, hell, you've known her for 30 years. And there you were on the phone just now, calling her sir.
Peppers in the oven if it's still edible.
Sorry.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Cookie.
We got a letter from Daddy.
Good. Maybe Mom will let me out of the doghouse long enough to read it.
I worry about you sometimes, that's all. Want to hear it?
You bet.
Dear Dad, dearest Billy and Nancy. Well, Pop, by the time you get this, another 4th of July will have passed without me hearing you deliver your Angie Medallia speech. I really miss being there. Things are pretty hectic right now. I can't tell you where we are. Somewhere in... They censored that.
They're in France. Everybody knows that.
Everything is so old here, Nancy. I've seen real castles where knights and ladies of old lived. And everyone talks French.
That's
Of course-
stupid. You censor France and leave in that everybody talks French?
You're right. Of course, we're not exactly tourists, and I sure would like to come back after this is over and enjoy the castles up close. The big news around here is that I've been transferred to Regimental S1. They've got me posting replacements. Hey, Pop, you know the Army alphabetizes everything? Well, that's how the replacement battalions send us men. This week was nothing but elemental P's. What we're told to do is send all the L's to one company, all the M's to another. Can you imagine an infantry platoon with 40 guys named Martin in it? Here I am with a master's degree, and I only have to know 5 letters in a row. Sometimes we hear the artillery in the distance and know we're part of something besides the mountain of paperwork. It makes me think about all these Martins and Moskowitzes and Milligans and what's going to happen to them. I hope it's over soon so I can come back home. God, Billy, how I long to... Sorry, this part's for me.
Mushy love stuff. I want to hear it.
Not on your life. Come on, sweet pea. It's bedtime.
Oh, not yet, Mom.
Come on, Nancy. I don't want to hear it. Let's go.
All right. Can I listen to the Whistler, please?
All right, but then it's bedtime.
See the letter, Billy, please.
Don't read the last paragraph.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was cross.
I had it coming.
I am a whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. No!
She was more beautiful in death than in life. Her childlike smile embraced the grim reaper like a mother. I could just see the ravage it put down to her face.
Doc.
Never see her.
Doc, what's the matter? What happened?
Leave me alone.
Here, let me give you a hand.
No,
Shall I call Edna May?
no. I'll get up in a minute and be on my way. I'm not an experienced hero like you know. I need fortification.
What you need is a quart of black coffee. Come on. Come on to the house.
No. Let me ask you a question.
What?
Come on down here. I'm tired of looking up.
All right, if I answer your question, will you let me pour some black coffee into you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You love your son, don't you?
Of course I do.
And then just hope he never ends up in hell. All those dead boys.
What?
Dead soldiers. The ones I know. And the ones I'll never know.
What are you talking about, Doc?
All those poor boys. None of them ever going home. The terrible sadness.
What boys, Doc?
None of your sons. What do you care?
Come on, Doc. Let's get up.
Yeah. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow. And I shall say good night till it be morrow. I didn't make that up, you know. William Shakespeare. Mr. Shakespeare to you. I call him Sparky.
Careful, Doc. Doc, be careful.
Broken out of Normandy. You think this means the war could be over soon?
I hope so.
Hey, Billy, you got a cup of coffee to go for a man on a run?
I think we can manage.
Morning, John.
Damn this thing. I still can't get over it. I was with Edna May Hansen all morning. Kind of a crowd over there. Looks like you haven't heard.
Heard what?
Doc Hansen. He's dead.
How? What happened?
Captain out at the POW camp called me about 6 this morning. They found Doc in the dispensary.
Heart attack?
No, beat to death.
Oh, no. Who?
I'm sorry, Billy. Doc Hansen.
Do you know who did it?
Some kraut striking a blow for Hitler. They got him in custody, that's all I know. Except that I'd like to be there when I hang him. Thanks for the coffee. I'll bring back the cup.
Charlie Canfield out of his chambers and moved in a U.S. District Court judge. They're going to try that German in federal court.
Federal court? Well, they ought to let me try him with a damn 2x4. That's what they ought to do, you know?
Lord, they got marshals over there. United States attorneys?
Oh, yeah, Willie Jackson was out there all day yesterday installing new phone lines.
You know, what I'd like to know is who in the world are they going to get to defend this crowd?
Charlie says Clarence Darrow.
Clarence Darrow? Was he kidding?
Either that, or he hasn't heard that old Clarence has been dead for 6 years.
Mr. Cobb? Sorry to bother you, sir. I'm U.S. Marshal. Could you come with me, please?
Are you kidding?
Come in. Mr. Cobb? I'm Stoddard Bell. That's B-E-L-L. Bell, how do you do?
Yes, sir.
That's just fine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure from all the gossip, you already know there's going to be a U.S. District Court held here. What we're going to do is try a German prisoner of war for the murder of Dr. George Hansen. This is Mr. Domchek.
Mr. Cobb?
He works for the Attorney General in Washington, D.C. He'll prosecute.
Judge, I need to go set up my office. Is that all right?
Yeah, go right ahead, Mr. Domchek.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good man. Reminds me of myself when I was young. Give Mr. Cobb your chair, son.
Yes, sir.
Sit down. Sit down. Now, the defendant, he's going to need a lawyer. I can appoint any member of the U.S. District Court Bar I want to. After consulting with some people around here who know who's who, I've decided to appoint you. We have a touchy situation here, Mr. Cobb. There's 3 American airmen, POWs, who are in the custody of Nazi civil authorities. They're about to be tried before a criminal court in Darmstadt, Germany. The president wants to make sure they get a fair public trial. You follow me?
No, sir.
This trial is a way to assure that that happens. That's why we're trying it before a civilian court. Quid pro quo. If we give this German a fair trial, maybe they won't railroad our boys. You see? The president wants justice done, not only here in Lincoln Bluff, Colorado, but in Darmstadt, Germany, too. At 10 o'clock this morning, some federal marshals went out to Camp Bremen and took custody of the defendant. What the hell's his name?
Geiger, Your Honor. Hauptfeldt Webel, something. Wilhelm Geiger.
What does all that German mean?
Means a sergeant, Your Honor.
Well, then say so.
Yes, sir.
I'm arraigning your client at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Not my client, Your Honor. I'm very sorry, sir, but I don't want the job. Thank you.
Hold on. Gents, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Cobb and I are going to take a little stroll. Now, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Cobb?
Well, Your Honor, for one thing, see, I live in this town. If the hangman's job was open, I'd be the first in line. The other thing is that I joined the U.S. District Court Bar because their certificate looked pretty on my wall. I don't know the first thing about federal rules. I've never even been in a federal courtroom, Your Honor.
I'll go easy on you. You'll enjoy the experience.
Judge, my only son is over there fighting these people. Now, how in the hell can I defend a German for killing an American? I can't do it.
What does the cardboard sign say on my chambers?
U.S. District Court
Judge.
Yeah, but, Your
A
Honor,
law professor once told me that one of the most important things a courtroom lawyer can do is gauge a judge. So to help you out, I'm going to tell you everything you want to know about me. I'm a very thorough fellow. For instance, unless you were cheating on your income tax, you earned $4,331 last year. Pretty slim for a lawyer. I also know you're about that much again in debt.
Well, with all due respect, Your Honor, I don't think that's any of your business.
I knew you'd say that. Well, sir, if you take on this case, Uncle Sam will pay you a retainer of $2,500. And at $15 an hour, you can bill the government for another $1,000 for preparation and trial time. Now, tell me you can make that kind of money representing the interests of some overwrought farmers and their aspirated rabbits, and I'll drop the offer.
I'll grant you, Judge, that I'm the poorest lawyer in the state, and I intend to stay that way. Thank you very much, but no thank you.
Mr. Cobb, what's important here is the process. As far as I can see, this is an open and shut case anyway. Not asking you to save this German, just defend him. This has got to be an American trial in the American way. It's got to be thorough, it's got to be honest, out in the open, fair as fair can be. Don't you see, the very reasons you don't want this case is why you're the only man to take it. You've got a son fighting in Europe. You served with distinction in the last war. You're a patriot. I'm going to arraign your client at 3 o'clock sharp. If I were you, I'd move for a non-jury trial. I'll grant the motion. Naturally, the first thing you want to do is go talk to Mr. Domchek. There's one other thing. I'm compelled to force you not to discuss the situation regarding those POWs in Germany. Not with your family, not with a soul. You tell your friends in this town I forced you to take the case. Tell them I gave you a choice of resigning from the bar or going to jail for contempt. Of course, that won't be a lie, because that would have been your choice. It was going to be my last argument. Well, I'll see you at 3 o'clock.
Mr. Cobb, put these files in that corner office against the wall.
You planning to settle down in our little town, sir?
Well, they've given me everything except a home-baked pie. Hey, Mr. Cobb, can you come over here for a minute? I just want to show you what I've got. Now, the county coroner, he's going to testify that the victim was beaten to death with a baseball bat. Sentry, victim arrives drunk. Sergeant of the guard, he finds the body. Commanding officer, he finds your client's iron cross in the victim's hand. He makes the arrest, and then he finds the murder weapon in your client's possession. Army CID expert identifies the victim's hair and blood on the bat. And this is my favorite. German sergeant, he's going to testify that your client wanted to kill Americans for Hitler. Now, here's what you've got. Somewhere. Statement from your client saying that he was asleep at the time of the murder, doesn't know anything about it. And I'll tell you, he's a real doozy, Mr. Cobb. This guy, he could have posed for Uncle Adolf Wants You poster. I think this is a change of pace for you, isn't it?
I'll manage.
Well, anyhow, in these cartons, there's some studies, classified studies of POW camps, and I can have them sent over to your office if you want. You have an office, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. So, where'd you go to law school?
Oh, I didn't.
Excuse me?
I read for the law.
What, like Abe Lincoln by candlelight?
Yes. I also split rails and wrestled. And I'll bet I can tell where you went to school. Harvard.
Harvard, yeah. It cost a bundle, but it taught me a lot. What it's going to teach you is free. I'll see you in court, counselor.
Goodbye, Mr. Domchek.
Domchek.
Right.
Here he is, sir.
I'm Harmon Cobb. I'm appointed to be your lawyer.
My name is Wilhelm Alois Geiger. I am a Hauptfeldwebel of the 15th Grenadiers, Battle Group Dornemann, 94th Division. I am a prisoner of war.
You'll be arraigned in about an hour. That means I'll plead you not guilty, you understand? It's going to be a short defense.
My name is Wilhelm Alois Geiger. I am a Hauptfeldwebel of the 15th Grenadiers, Battle Group Dornemann, 94th Division. I am a prisoner of war.
So those are big-time recorders, huh? Sound like a bunch of monkeys.
Give me $1 tip. Any of you snuffy Smiths ever do that?
Just a minute, Mr. Cobb.
Hi, Warren. Morning, Harm. Ginny, cup of coffee, please. Pardon, thanks.
Harmon. Jenny, much do I owe you?
75 cents.
Ginny, some English muffins, please.
How about some German strudel?
See you boys later.
What's going on?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, Don Bogart says he thinks you're a secret Bund member. He says your real name is probably Von Cobb. I'm just checking up.
My God. You people think that I asked for this? I was railroaded. That big shot federal judge told me he'd have me disbarred and throw me into jail for contempt if I didn't take this job.
He said he put you in jail?
Yes, he did, and he can do it, too. God almighty. I live in this town. You people think that I'm going to go in there and defend that Heine with my last ounce of blood? All I'm going to do is make sure that snotty prosecutor doesn't make me look like a hick. Then I'm going to go watch the hanging. I may even ask to spring the trap door.
Excuse me for asking, but before you help out with the execution, you got to put up some kind of defense, don't you? So what do you got in mind?
I don't know. Character witnesses.
Character witnesses like who?
I don't know. Joseph Goebbels, Hermann Goring, Heinrich Himmler. My star witness is going to be Adolf Hitler.
Visitor parking over there, sir.
Major Lilly, Sergeant Geiger's lawyers out here.
I'm Major Lilly, sir.
Harmon Cobb?
So, you would like to see our dispensary?
If it's not too much trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'll show you around, and Sergeant Osias, he can tell you where the prisoners are working at.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just so I know how we stand here, sir. Are you defending Geiger by choice?
What difference does that make?
After you. Let me be clear on where I stand, Mr. Cobb. The fact is, Hansen shouldn't have been out here in the middle of the night. So while I'm sorry that he got killed, I really can't take responsibility for his death.
Was this Doc Hansen's office?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, if I go in?
Go right ahead. I think you should also know that this has been a model camp for 2 years. I have a good understanding with my prisoners. But Geiger's been a troublemaker from the moment he got here. Did you know that he even has the Iron Cross for being a good Nazi? So when they hang him, I'm going to celebrate.
Good. I'll bring the beer.
Fellow you're looking for is right up here.
Hurry up!
Hines. Yeah? Come and see out there. Fellow here wants to sprechen with you.
Hi. You speak English?
Nein. Well, he speaks English. Hines, come up out of there. Don't take all day about it.
I'm told you served with Sergeant Geiger, is that right?
No, sir, I do not know this man.
Your name is Private Heinz Maria Flug?
What do you want, sir?
I'm Geiger's lawyer.
Yes, Schule, kommt her.
Der Anwalt von Geiger. Was will denn der Anwalt hier?
Du, weißt du, warum der Anwalt hier ist? Ich frage ihn mal, wie es ihm geht.
Now, here's what I wanted to know. You see, there's going to be a trial for Geiger. You understand that, a trial? I need 2 men to testify. Testify, talk about Geiger, say nice things about Geiger. Do you comprehend?
Are we being ordered to do this?
Look, I'm supposed to be on Geiger's side.
Herr Anwalt, we will talk in the trial if we are ordered to. And we go back to work, sir.
Who did that?
Could have been lots of people. Dad, it's all right.
No, it's not all right.
You're not gonna like that either.
Hello. Who is this? Where's Nancy?
Upstairs, nursing a cut lip. She had a fight with Violet Sleed.
Nancy! You tell Violet Sleed to go to hell!
Rise and shine, Adolf. Out here.
What do you want?
Look, Sergeant, I've got to go into that courtroom and put up some kind of a defense for you. Do you understand?
I can make your job very easy. I can confess to killing this doctor. Also, that I personally sank the Lusitania and have stolen the Lindbergh's baby.
Now, your sarcasm isn't going to help any. Now, in the absence of a real defense, all I can do is put character witnesses on the stand. Who I have to choose from is your men. But when I spoke to them, they wouldn't admit that they knew you.
Where have you seen my men?
Out on some farm. They said they wouldn't testify unless they were ordered to do so. So I want you to order your men to testify in your behalf.
They would not talk to you. They're good.
Sergeant, let's get one thing straight. I don't want to defend you. I would like to be the fella that hangs you. But I'm stuck with this job and I have to go in there and put up some kind of a defense to keep from looking like a fool. So I want you to order your men to testify.
No, I do not want them harmed.
Oh, my God. Nothing is going to happen to them, for crying out loud. This is the United States of America.
Not in Camp Bremen. Do you want a defense? Then what about the truth? Shall I tell you about the murder of Ernst Schmidt? Shall I tell you about the Lago Gestapo in Camp Bremen? No. You want only vengeance. So I will not tell my men to testify. For Wilhelm Geiger, you need no defense. You need a defense only for yourself.
I think the Army pays these people by the word to write these things.
I'm going to look like a fool in there. Got no character witnesses. If I put Geiger on the stand, he'll make a travesty out of it. If I rest without a defense, that tough old judge will have me shot. Should have been a farmer.
Maybe you should keep reading.
There he is.
How do you feel about defending a Nazi?
think this German can
You
get a
get
fair
paid for
trial
this?
here?
Is this the biggest case of your career?
Ever defended a murderer before?
What about being a Nazi sympathizer?
Why did you take the case?
What do you think they picked you?
Give us something,
please.
All I can tell you is what the judge told me. It was me or Clarence Darrow, and he's dead. Okay?
Well, this is going to mess up your career. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Corporal Adam Swayze, sir.
Please be seated.
Corporal Swayze, what were your duties from midnight to 8 a.m. on July 6, 1944?
I was on guard duty at the main gate of the prison compound at Camp Bremen, sir.
Did Dr. George Hansen arrive at your post during the night?
He sure did, sir.
Oh, I object, Your Honor. Isn't this called leading the witness?
Your Honor, I resent counsel's sarcasm.
No sarcasm intended. I just wanted my learned adversary to know that we here in the sticks do know leading a witness when we run across it.
Objection sustained. Go on, Mr. Domchek.
Thank you. Did anyone approach your post the morning of the 6th?
At 2:17 a.m., sir, the doc did. Dr. Henson, I mean.
When Corporal Swayze told me that he had admitted Dr. Hansen into the prisoner's compound without informing me, I reprimanded him. I then proceeded to the dispensary.
At what time was that, Sergeant?
It was 5:32 a.m., sir. The lights were on in the office, and the filing cabinets were turned upside down. Dr. Hansen was lying on the floor. Most of his face was gone, and he didn't have any pulse.
Major, at the dispensary, what did you observe?
Sir, I observed that Dr. Hansen was holding something in his right hand. I identified the object as a German combat decoration. It was the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross. The ribbon was torn.
Is this the object that you found?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce this as United States Exhibit A.
Exhibit A admitted.
Major, how many soldiers at Camp Bremen are entitled to wear that decoration?
Just one. Sergeant Geiger.
Did the discovery of that piece of evidence cause you to take any action?
Yes, sir. I ordered Sergeant Kreider and 4 other MPs to accompany me to Barracks 15, where I arrested the defendant.
And did you discover anything in his possession at that time?
Yes, I did. It was in his locker. It was a baseball bat. It had traces of what appeared to be hair and blood on it.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce Exhibit B, the baseball bat.
Exhibit B admitted.
Your witness, Mr. Cobb?
No questions.
Hi,
kids.
Grandpa. Better. Hi, Grandpa. Do you want me to heat up your stew for you?
Sure, Cookie. You know how to do it?
Oh, stop it, Grandpa.
How'd it go? I got a letter from Harry.
Oh, wonderful. Read it, read it. Great. What does he say?
Wait till you hear. Dearest Billy, also Nancy and Pop, a couple of your letters caught up with me today. It's terrible about old Doc Hansen. He was a great old guy. I hope the Army hangs the blankety blank who did it.
What did they censor?
Nothing. I censored it. Okay, is everybody sitting down? I made sergeant.
Hooray!
Yeah. So I'll thank you all to treat me with more respect from now on. There'll also be a welcome addition to the old allocation check. Hooray! I'll have new duties I can't tell you about yet. Don't worry, it's another staff job. Maybe even one where I get to use my brain a little. I'll tell you, Pop, the Army still operates on the same mentality you always talked about. If it moves, salute it. If it doesn't move, move it. If you can't move it, paint it. I don't know if you had the word snafu in World War I, but it's what we live with every day. I'll tell you what the letters stand for sometime when Billy and Nancy aren't in the room.
What do they stand for, Grandpa?
Situation normal, all fouled up.
What's wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing.
Posting replacements has been getting to me anyway. I keep looking for the names of kids from Lincoln Bluff, but so far nobody I know. thank God. I'm sorry if I seem down in the dumps. I keep telling myself how much I have to be happy and proud about, especially when I think the rest is just for me.
Uh-huh.
Mushy love stuff.
That's right. Mushy love stuff. So, how'd it go today?
Okay. I think I did okay with Domchek. I managed to get his goat a few times. It's nice, huh?
Good. So, what else?
You should have been a lawyer. All these questions. Oh, it's Doc. He was so drunk that night, I don't think he was making any sense. Maybe I shouldn't have let him.
What? Walked to his home 2 blocks away? How could you possibly know he would go all the way out to that camp?
Yeah.
Dad, it wasn't your fault.
The left temporal bone of the skull was crushed, multiple fragments of which were embedded in the victim's cerebral cortex. The palatine, nasal, and inferior turbinate bones were also crushed.
Speak louder, please.
The palatine, nasal, and inferior turbinate bones were also crushed, causing more fragments to penetrate the brain. In addition, the right occipital bone exhibited a lateral crack, also produced by a rounded, blunt instrument. In my opinion, this trauma to the brain produced instantaneous death.
You're a witness, Mr. Kopp.
No question.
You can step down.
The United States calls Hauptfeldwebel Hans Riefenstahl. As ranking non-commissioned officer at Camp Bremen, did you have any conversations with the defendant?
Yes, sir, when he arrived.
Did you and he discuss the question of a prisoner of war's duties?
Yes, sir.
How do you define them?
How do I define them?
Yes.
I believe it is my duty to obey lawful orders from my captors and to maintain discipline among my men. But I do not believe it is a soldier's duty to murder civilians.
I object, Your Honor.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Domchek.
So Sergeant Geiger had a different definition.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Geiger said that his duty was that he must be the Führer's angel of death in America, to kill any American he could.
Sergeant Riefenstahl, would you define a Nazi as one who is a member of the National Socialist Party?
Yes, sir.
To the best of your knowledge, is Sergeant Geiger a member of the National Socialist Party?
He has told me he is, yes, sir.
Are you?
Am I, sir? No, sir, I'm only a soldier.
Your Honor, the United States rests.
Mr. Cobb, the defense can proceed in the morning. We're adjourned.
Lawyer, answer me a question.
What?
What is the year?
What is the year?
Yeah, you think it is 1944, don't you? But you are wrong.
Good evening,
sir. Nobody seems to be at home. Are you Mr. Harmon J. Cobb?
Yes?
I'm Second Lieutenant Jack Morton of the Adjutant General's office at Fort Dawson. Could we go inside, sir?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry. The War Department regrets to inform you that Sergeant Harold S. Cobb was killed in action 5 of August 1944 during combat operations in the European theater of war. Sir, would it be easier if I waited inside with you and told Mrs. Cobb myself?
No, I'll do it. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
I'd replace you if I could, but I can't.
Please, Judge. I can't go on with this. I can't even think.
Mr. Cobb, I sure can't know the depth of your grief. But this trial's going to finish the way it started, with you at the defendant's table. I'm sorry. That's the way it's got to go. Today's Wednesday. I'll grant a continuance the rest of the week. We'll reconvene on Monday. I'll be home in Denver if you need to talk to me. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Yes. I see. No, thank you very much. I appreciate your taking the time. Thank you, and the best to you too, sir.
Tell me, Dad. I want to know. Tell me.
The unit was at mail call. They took one artillery round. That's all.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Let's go fishing. Please? Mom says it'll be good for you.
Go away, Nancy. Leave me alone.
Please don't be mad at me. I'm sad too.
got him.
Jeez Louise! It's a whopper!
That's it. Use the reel. Use the reel. Let him run. Let him run. Rod tip up. Up, up. Good, good.
Come on, fish.
That's it. You've got him.
Come on, fish.
Reel him, Squirt. Reel him. A little more. 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 There he is. All right. Bring him over here. Hold him. I'll bring him up.
Grandpa, he's beautiful. Look at all the colors. He's red and blue and silver. Can we keep him? Please. I want to show Mom.
Well, it's your fish, Squirt, but if you keep him, he'll die, and all those colors will fade away. Nobody will ever know he looked like this. Hold my rod.
Maybe he won't change.
He will.
Why?
They always do. Rainbow trout's colors is just something you gotta see, but not keep.
Then let's let him go. We can remember what he looked like.
Everything about him. Now, come on.
Grandpa, did you ever catch a fish that big?
Never. Clarence, what's going on?
Oh, I was just driving around
And you happen to wind up on my porch.
I caught a fish this big, Mr. Heathcote.
How big?
This big.
You do that just like your grandpa.
Still the biggest fish ever caught in that river.
Mom, we're home. Wait till I tell you what happened. What?
What's on your mind, Clarence?
Oh, I was just wondering how he was holding up, is all.
Pretty good in some ways, other ways not so hot. Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee, a sandwich, or something?
No. Harmon, I was wondering, what's going to happen when that trial reconvenes?
I guess I'm going to go back to the courtroom and take my seat.
I don't suppose there's ever been any question about that German fella being guilty as sin. Of course, you got to do your very best for him, no matter what. That being what you might call the American way, you know. Feller's innocent until he's proven guilty. No matter what he done.
You giving me a civics lecture, Clarence?
No. Heck no. I was just wondering what you'd do if you'd had any kind of case, that's all.
Well, so far I haven't had that problem, but if I did, I suppose I'd put up a defense. In which case, I probably would have to move to another town. Is that about it, Clarence?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll see you later, hon.
Sure you don't want to come in for a cup of coffee till it blows over?
No, I got some errands I got to run.
What time is it?
3 a.m.
Does John Wallace know it's 3 a.m.?
He says it's important.
Mommy.
Crying out loud.
It's all right, honey. Mommy's coming.
What's the matter? Truck stop closed?
I just thought it was time I brought back your cup.
What's going on, John?
Well, about an hour ago, Clarence Heathcote woke me up, so I thought I'd pass on the favor. He brought me something real interesting. He found that in his tackle box when he was cleaning out his boat this morning. He says Doc scribbled that down when they were out fishing, the day Doc was killed.
Let me get my glasses.
Clarence said Doc got drunk and went rambling on about dead boys. That's what he was babbling to you about that night, wasn't it? Doc was a friend of mine, but he must have been up to his neck in something out at that camp. I hate to say it, but there's more to this now than just some crazy Nazi wanting to kill an American for Hitler.
Holy Chicago. So this is what Clarence got stuck in his craw this afternoon.
He asked me if I thought that would hurt Doc's reputation. I said, hell yes. But he said, give it to Harmon anyway. Sure was eating on him. Oh, by the way, I asked Clarence not to tell anybody else about this. He said he wouldn't. You okay, Harmon?
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much, John.
See you later. Night, Billy.
Night. Everything all right?
Billy, come over here and listen to this. This was written by Doc Hansen the day he died. He got drunk and he wrote this. Sir, Camp Bremen is hell on earth, a place of death. If what I am about to reveal results in the criminal prosecutions of myself and others, so be it. I have harbored this burden with great difficulty, and with the murder of Corporal Ernst Schmidt, I can carry it no longer. That's it. That's all there is. Corporal Ernst Schmidt. I remember talking to Geiger. I told him something about this being the United States of America, and he said something about the murder of Ernst Schmidt. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I wasn't even listening to him.
Oh, my God.
What am I going to do?
You haven't been back to bed yet, have you?
No point trying to sleep now. I'm too nervous. My 5-day continuance is 4/5 gone. I've got a little better than 24 hours to prepare a case, and I don't even know what it's about yet. I was going to wait till a decent hour, but the hell with it. Time to stir up the hornets.
Major Lilly.
Morning. Major, it's Harmon Cobb. I'm not calling too early, am I?
It's 6 a.m.